So, welcome to Beyond the Bestseller. Um, how about we just breathe in the gratitude for being in a community like you're staring at, where we can share a couple of moments today just to be with each other. And I have so much gratitude for this being on my calendar today because I think that our very purposeful work is where we can focus when the shit hits the fan. So, out of everyone I know, you all are doing the amazing, purposeful, magical, healing work, world changing work. So let's just let ourselves, maybe feel that heartache a little today, but also breathe in the gratitude of this community and just for your own badass selves, really, right? Just pour the light and the love on yourself with that next inhale. From the very, very beginning of sharing my words out loud with people and getting naysayers or critics or trolls, even, I had to deal with what my response would be. Not a reaction, but a response. And when I switched it from reaction to response, my life changed. That was a big life changer. And then when I shifted the response to a delayed one, one where I could just sit with whatever I was feeling, and then I got to choose how to respond. That was like next level ninja move, right, of awareness. And so in the beginning, I realized the longer I stayed paralyzed in fear, or you fill in the blank, the more time I wasted because I wasn't back in my purpose for being born. And again, I'll repeat it, more than any community, any group of people I've ever played in the sandbox with, you all practice that kind of world-changing work. So get back to it today. Thank you for being here. Right? Thanks for getting back to it. Thanks for showing up today. So many of you could have just said, nah, there's just too much, right? I'm going back to bed or whatever. So thank you for just showing up. And I have so much gratitude for you all. So why this particular workshop? Well, first of all, I like to bring the community together to help each other. And once you publish your work in the world, that's like really just the beginning. The Amazon bestseller game is just that. Like that piece is easy if you know how to do it, you know the strategy, you know how to get there, and everybody sees it. And we all get so crazy and excited about our Amazon bestsellers. But honestly, that's just the beginning of the fun game, right? The rest of what happens after you achieve that status is where the real juicy magic can happen for whatever it is you're up to. I mean, book royalties are cool and possible, but if we put a book out in the world and landed 5 new perfect ideal clients, I like that money better. Okay? Like, and I also like that impact better. Because a lot of the times we don't even know who's reading and what's happening behind the scenes. But when we get to connect with people because they read something in our book and carry on the relationship and the conversation and whatever that journey is, whoa, I mean, like that's 10x impact right there. That's a possibility for it, an opportunity to make way more impact. So cool. Your books are cool. We have 85 Amazon best-selling books published from Brave Healer Productions now, but so what? Like now what? Right? That's why this workshop. And there is so much of the now what. There's so much answers to that, so many answers to that. Let's get your work out into the world in more people's hands well beyond the launch. Yeah, that's maybe selling more books. Cool, right? We want more eyes on the stuff. But there's lots of different kinds of ideas. And I want you guys to be ready in the chat today because I am not the only one with all the magical ideas. You guys have done stuff that has really worked for you in terms of beyond the launch of your books, right? So get ready to drop ideas when we go through some of these things today. So, you know, why do we even write the book? I think that we don't even answer that question. We just think it's something we're supposed to do because the world says, oh, you got to write a book. And then what? And we don't even have the bigger vision of it. So when you, even if you've published a book, I don't know, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, or last year, or this month, you could ask yourself the why question now and create a vision that creates magic for you in the next year. That's why this is a cool topic and an exciting topic. So what is your why about this, right? Well, I have life-changing coaching work and it really works and people should know about it. Well, that's everybody's going to say that. We all believe in ourselves or else we wouldn't have written the book, right? We all know that our work works. But then how do we help ourselves beyond that, right? It's like trying to talk people into your thing works and it feels like you're talking to nobody or you're talking to the wall or the crickets or whatever, right? And there's ways that we can figure this out and we can help each other. So I have like 5 different things we can talk about today. And when you guys sell, for those of you who've been in the Brave Healer world, especially with an expert collaboration, you know you've got your author benefit, okay? And you can sell your beautiful, magical, signed paperback copies, and you can make a profit off of those. And I continue to want to offer that benefit to anyone in my world because I hope that you would make a couple of bucks, but every time you sell a book or even give a book away, you're sharing the expert author cast with whoever is reading. And do we care who gets helped by who? I don't. And so the more you sell them, the more you share them, the more you give them away, the better, right? So if you happen to be a solo book author here today, and you might have been in one of the collaborations or a collaboration in the past or not, wouldn't it be cool if other people were selling your book for you? Right? Like, wouldn't it be cool if other people were promoting your business for you? Like, that is really cool when that happens, right? So, are you thinking about your partners in those book sales? So this first idea about selling our actual books, you know, have you created a branded bookmark and put it in there? Have you created a little card that has like 10% coupon off of your coaching services? And are you writing a personal note on that to the person who's buying your book? And what is that, right? Are you infusing that with magical juju? And are you giving the person a call to action to come into your world after they purchased at the next level? That could mean so many things. So for those of you who've been in my world a while, what does that mean for you? What's the call to action after they buy the book? Start typing them in the chat for me. What's your call to action? What have you asked your reader to do next in any way that you've done it? What's the call to action? You guys can be brief about your ideas. Like, I asked them to get access to the Brave Healer resources vault and get a ton of free training for author entrepreneurs. That call to action brings them on my email list. That's a big deal, building your platform, because as soon as you write another book, you're going to want an email list to announce it to, right? So what ideas have you used in terms of your call to action? So Debbie says, jump on a connection call, group connect monthly. Cool. So you have something that is a program that can be an ongoing call to action. That's badass, y'all. Because then you can use the same call to action all the time. So I have a version of that too. The Brave Healer Power Hour is a free private networking event. I can always throw the link in a call to action. Hey, you guys want to come get to know me a little better? Sign up for a Brave Healer Power Hour. I want to help you build your business, right? So a connection call, a group, Debbie's is monthly connection call. Join a woman's circle. Yes. So Susan's might be free. It might be paid, either one. Does it matter if it's a free call to action or a paid call to action? No. Why does it matter? It's whatever that next step is. But the key to these things, you guys, is the actual language of the call to action. And what do I mean by that? Well, your copywriting has to be takeaway oriented. So anytime, if you're going to put that little note card in your book that you sold, and you're going to write a call to action to someone, it has to be about what they want. So do you even know what your ideal clients want? And sometimes you don't. Sometimes you feel like you're guessing, right? But if we can get good at that, we can write some pretty amazing call to actions when we write our little thank you notes, sell our books. And I just want you to be thinking of what kind of messages have you written in your notes? Are you too afraid to invite them to something next because you'll feel salesy? No sales, no lives are changed. Invite them. Whether it's free or paid, who cares? If they don't get the invitation, they can never sign up and their life will never be changed, right? Get good at this. What are your calls to action? So, oops, I got to go back up because you guys are typing all over the place. Let's see where else we are. I lost my place already. Okay, here we go. Yes, on the mailing list, says Colleen. So offer something so please, with sugar on top, do not use, please sign up for my email newsletter as your call to action. Don't do that, you guys. Who wants another email newsletter? We don't. But if you language the call to action in a way that says, hey, come get thousands of dollars of free resources in the Brave Healer resources vault for author entrepreneurs. Oh, I kind of want that. Yes, please. So they're going to drop their name and email for the thing that you're offering that brings them into your email list world, right? Yeah, book a session with me, says Lolita. Definitely invite them. Join a group, join a class, subscribe to the newsletter, come to a retreat. Yes. Perfect. Free introductory session, says Elizabeth. Awesome. Let them have a taste of you for free. Please don't overgive on those. I'm just talking to my healers who I know well at this point. Give them a valuable taste, but if you overgive and you're drained by the end and you got no money for that awesome value, then you're just going to burn yourself out. So come up with a free introductory session or offer that is really filling you also, How is that going to happen, right? How long does that session need to be? And how many will you be giving a month? Because if that is something you love to do and you know that you could do 5 a month and stay really cool, like you feel good about that, and you can give 5 a month at whatever time that is and not have any feelings that you're over giving or that you're burning out, cool. Guess what? You can language it. You guys, I offer 5 free introductory sessions a month. If you want one, you better get one, because that call to action is going to create urgency, and you'll be surprised how many more people sign up when you limit and put a boundary around it. You're going to probably get more than you thought you would. And then you're going to have to think about the number again, right? So everything that you choose can always be, you can change your mind. You can redo it, right? You can make another one for next month. So check out our online program. Yes. Download the freebie. Yes. Free consultation. Yes. Complimentary coaching. Yep. We're talking about different kind of versions of all of this. Share their story for the impact they experienced. Yeah. Asking for testimonial, right? Anna, is what you meant by that. Yeah. Please ask for those, you guys. Right. That's a really wonderful call to action that will help you from that book. Give me their feedback. Yes. Join the webinar. Yes. Other resources. Yeah. Your private group, Charlene. Yeah. Invite them into a group where they can carry on a conversation about the chapters they read in the book. Your theme. Okay. So if you're a chapter author, you had a theme and a tool. And I'm hoping it was branded for your business, right? Like we coached you, because then if your group serves that theme, that call to action is very powerful. Come on in, people who want this, because I have this for you. And we're going to carry on this conversation that I started in the chapter or my book. I love, love, love the private groups that I created on Facebook from the very beginning of my business. They are kind of why you see me here doing what I'm doing today. Facebook groups have been good to me. I have a ton of ideas, information, all the things about it. And so maybe we need a whole little workshop about, how to run a group that really supports your business, because it is a thing. And then secondarily, I would say I'm over on LinkedIn in terms of social. And there's 2 different ideal clients that I'm talking about when I talk about being on Facebook and being on LinkedIn. So know who and know where they are, or else you'll burn yourself out trying to be everywhere. And you don't need to be everywhere. You need to be where your people are, right? Free guided meditation. Yes, I love that idea. Speaking availability. Yes, great calls to action, you guys. Audio download. I love it. Giving them a little gift, a little taste, a way to get to know you at the next level is typically going to be audio or visual, both. It's going to be a way to get in front of you. If some of you haven't made a call to action from the book that is helping that person literally get in front of your face and hear you and get to know you, I would highly suggest that's your next call to action. Because when they get to know, love, and trust you, then who knows what's call to action comes from there, right? Then it's about your coaching. It's about them becoming a client. But how are they going to get to know you and trust you if you're never offering an opportunity for them to be with you, hear you, see you in action? Oh my gosh, you guys have a lot of things. Free companion guide, 7-day meditation. Yes, yes, yes. Tell them to give me the email for a discount for our services. Yes. What a simple, powerful email opt-in. Come on and join the community. And for joining, what you'll get back is this coupon, right? You can give a code or something. Yeah, Lolita. Cool. So call to action in the note in the book. That's what we've been talking about. Are you just thanking them, or are you actually inviting them to the next thing? I'm guilty of just thanking them, right? But I think if we really think about this, how powerful this could be every single time you give away or sell a book, if your call to action brings them into your email list, you win all day long, right? If it brings them into a live session, you win. So, do you have a workshop or a course that teaches the thing from your book? And or related? And what if you launch your new workshop or your new course? Any versions of this are cool, but are you teaching this in a workshop or a course? And you wrap the price of the book into the workshop so that when you sell the workshop, it includes a free book. You wrapped the price into the workshop. They don't see that. They see the value of the workshop and they get a free book. So if you're not doing that, oh my gosh, so many opportunities, right? You can either, and so just think about where people are, and if you're going to have to ship them a paperback. So if you've got a workshop with 25 people, you might need to hire a VA to ship all your free paperbacks, right? So just, you got to think about it a little bit. The ebook is another opportunity, obviously. So you can wrap that into a workshop. So that is idea number 2 with these. We published, and now what? Well, the next workshop that I do, the next group coaching program, the next, you fill in the blank of the offering that you're thinking about, I'm going to wrap in a book with the price of admission, and it's going to be a cool thing to include. So with those first 2 ideas today, anyone have a question or something they want to add? And I'm going to ask that, because I know I've got powerhouses in the room with me today. If you add things, please make it a minute or less. Okay. So anyone have a question or 1 minute or less add to the first 2 things? Call to action in your note when you sell your books. We're selling our books. Yeah, Debbie.
So the question for clarity is, you talked earlier about having this beneficial bonus of getting our books at cost or very, very low priced. And I assume those are the ones that you're suggesting to give out with your course or workshop. Is there a way of actually sending them right from Amazon instead of right from my house without it costing me $25 a book?
There is not in my world, because your benefit are the paperbacks. I have to ship you the box, and it's up to you at that point.
Got it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and some people are hiring a virtual assistant, which is money well spent, when they can work for 1 hour and ship your 25 books out. I mean, like, do the math. That works.
Yeah.
I
was more thinking about different countries in which we're shipping, and that can get really expensive.
Countries don't even, you guys you'll be so sorry that you said yes to that, because it's way too expensive. So please buy your ebooks from the country Amazon site that they're in if you want to share, and then it's much easier and less expensive to give away an ebook. But remember, you have to buy your ebooks from the country site that the person lives in. If I send a .com ebook to Canada, they can't open it. Okay. But Debbie, you made me think of another really cool thing to think about for you guys. So yeah, of course it could be your book that you were in, or your solo book that you've written. Why not? Right? It could be those things. But what if you partnered with someone who, let's say, they don't have a book. Let's say you don't have a book or your partner doesn't have a book, and you see a complimentary kind of collaboration with this person you want to get to know and network with. And you say, "Oh, hey, Debbie, I've got this new book called The Complete Small Business Growth Guidebook. And I see you're doing a business coaching thing over here, this workshop, this program. And I would love to give away 3 of my books for your audience for a little shout out or something," right? You guys get the idea, right? So yeah, all day long, doesn't have to be your book you're giving away. What if you partnered with somebody in a complementary way, right? All day long, that's going to be a win-win. And for you guys who have a benefit for your paperbacks, they do a deal with those people. Maybe they're going to buy 10 or 20, and you guys know you can purchase, them for $650 through Brave Healer Productions. You know how much it'll cost to ship. So what if you gave them a deal off the retail price from Amazon? You're making a few bucks. They're getting some awesome books. I mean, just be flexible, right? See what kind of deals you want to do with these share partners, because those partners become business sharing partners also. The collaborations are where big, 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 big magic happens, you guys. Ricky, you got a nugget, a question?
It was a quick question about, are we sending the paperback? In my case, it's a spiral bound, which costs me a little bit more, because I get my author copies and I spiralize it. Or are we sending the ebooks?
I mean, it's up to you, right?
Right.
So
Because
make
I
it
sent
economical.
the spirals up to Canada for 2 people, and it cost almost as much as the book to
Yes,
send it.
I know. That's what we were saying with you got to be careful about who's
Yeah.
in the program and what book you're shipping and how much money you're going to have to pay for this offer that you offered. So just be
But if,
smart about it, you
yeah,
guys.
if they're in Canada, it would have to be a different, oops, where'd it go? It would have to be the Canadian Amazon, correct?
It would. If you're sending them an ebook, you have to
Okay,
purchase those ebooks from .ca. Yeah,
okay,
definitely.
thank you.
And that's doable. You can do it. Anna, you got a nugget?
I have several, but one of the things, just so to Ricky's point, I always say that when I'm doing any type of promotion, I say US based. So then that way, the book gets shipped to US, and if I have bought my own copies of ebooks, I only know that only people in US can open those, unless I had purchased them in elsewhere. And before it was a complicated problem, so I don't know if that's been resolved for us all to get in different territories. Has it, Laura? Can we buy?
That's essentially what I'm saying is if you purchase an ebook as a giveaway for somebody in another country, it has to be purchased from that country's page.
Yeah,
An
so somebody
Amazon,
else has to get it who's in that IP address.
oh, someone else has to purchase it?
Yeah, like in other words, if we had
Yeah,
like a VA in Canada and they're buying from Canada Amazon, like I don't think I can log into Canada Amazon and
I
purchase.
can.
Oh, you
I
can?
mean, so I log into all of my Amazons with my same login.
Oh,
I
okay.
yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
changed.
oh,
Okay,
good.
great.
Yeah,
Thank you for that tip.
yeah, yeah, you should be able to. If that's not the case, let me know. But what a great workaround you just talked about is like if you
Yeah,
have somebody in, yeah. So obviously that means you got to know somebody in the country who can do it for you and then, and then send it. But no, I have all the different pages. I have an account where I purchase those from. It's the same account. It's still your Amazon account, but I'll be on the CA page or the Australia page or whatever. I don't want to get too hooked up on this ebook thing, you guys, right now, because I know it can be complicated. But if you're having questions and you want to run through it or you need more clarification, come grab me and we'll go figure it out online together.
That's good to know. The only thing that I actually was coming to mind that everyone should have this as a top of mind thing is that your book is a brand, not just the book itself. So always think of it as a brand or part of a next level brand for you. as you do all this, because that'll also help you think bigger instead of just getting the book out there. And that was just my little tidbit.
I mean, that comes well before in your ideation of your books, you guys. And I try to coach it in our expert collaborations right up front during our kickoff calls, but that's right in the beginning. What book are you writing? Is it branding you? How? And in all the ways. So when you're thinking about your next one, definitely get that thought process going. So I came today bearing gifts for all of you. One of my biggest, one of my biggest mentors in the book world is Honorée Corder, and she wrote an entire book called "You Must Market Your Book," and she's giving it away, the ebook, free for all of you guys today. So there you go. So go grab it. You're gonna love this book. It's hopefully going to give you a new nugget or two. She has some incredible book programs. And if any of you want to take book marketing to the next level, I am going to give you a link to a course and a code that, if I can copy it properly, and a code that'll give you 50% off this course. It's a mega course, you guys, so you got to be ready for it. But that was another gift that she gave me for you guys. So Book Marketing Mastery, there's the link. The code is BRAVE. It'll give you 50% off the course. She's a badass. I've read all of her book marketing books. And she has a really wonderful group on Facebook called the Prosperous Writers Mastermind, free group, if you want to look that up and go say hey to her. So I'm super grateful to her for, she knew I was going to be doing this, and she's been an expert in a couple of our collaborations. And so she's just amazing. Ricky, I don't know Kroger, the in-store program. So you'll
They
have
have it briefly, may I?
1 minute or less, my dear.
Okay, I've sold a bunch of books. You take a table into a Kroger, you have to register your book with them. They put it in their system. It goes through their checkout counters and you get paid. They get a percentage and you sell your books in Kroger. And so you capture an audience. Mine was appropriate because it's a nutritional cookbook. But they've also sold a lot of other books there, and they have a great way of working it. It's pretty fair. It's time
Nice.
consuming, but it's there, and it's Kroger all over the country.
Cool. If you guys
Any of
have
their
a
stores.
Kroger, that's worth looking into.
Yep.
I love it. We don't have Kroger here in the DC
They
area.
probably have a different, pardon me, one of their other named stores, because in Colorado, Kroger is City Market. So
okay. Number 3 here is, are you speaking? Are you speaking? This could mean so many different things. So if you're sitting there going, no, I haven't done any speaking, then I highly, highly, highly recommend you go over to the On Purpose Woman Network, and you get into some of Ginny Robertson's gatherings, and you sign up to be a speaker for her community. It's free. You don't have to be a member to speak. You have to be a member to do her 5-minute featured member spots, but you don't have to be a member to speak about your beautiful topic. And that is going to be a powerful thing to, again, it's going to get back to, are you allowing people to get in a Zoom room or in person and get to know, love, and trust you? Are you letting them hear you, right? See you and hear you. If you've written a book, then what's next for you in terms of speaking? Everybody starts somewhere. You got to start at the beginning. If you haven't done any speaking, you need a safe place to practice and get feedback. And Ginny's group is one of the best that I know. Okay. If you all have a group like that, and you can make the offer of an opportunity then please put it in the chat. Okay. If you offer an opportunity for our authors to speak about their topics, please, I want to hear about it. And yeah, I'm going to drop the link for you real quick here. This is her website. So you can connect with her on the website, but on Facebook, it is the On Purpose Woman Global Community. But that is also on this link here. So there it is for you. Way back when before COVID, we were in person here in Maryland, and I went to a couple of meetings of hers and read my poetry and started speaking for the first time. And you know, nervous and shaking the whole time. And, you know, you got to start somewhere with speaking. But what about the online versions of this? I know you all, some of you all have been out there on summits and you're doing your courses and you're doing your interviews. Are you on podcasts yet? Are you taking advantage of any kind of speaking so that people can hear you and get to know you? So what kinds of things have you done that have worked for you? I'm going to take the first three. You got to use the raise your hand function, please, down at the bottom. A speaking kind of gig that has been working for you in terms of getting new email list subscribers, selling your books, your business, whatever it is. What do you like? Can you guys use your raise hand? Nobody's doing anything that's working. Ricky, what are you doing?
I just put it in the chat. There's two stores that are family owned in Houston, and they have my book. I've done several book signings there, and it always sells books. And I went in when they had another. They set up a certain day. It's usually a Saturday. They set up a table, and I bring in the books, and I can bring in a food demonstration if I want to. But it's been great because it helps them sell the books, and they've already bought my books, so they're sold. But there's always people who want a little bit more. And so that's where you're suggesting about, you know, in the signing the book, the dedication is great to offer more to them. And I offer,
Nice.
you know, they can watch my class. The in-person stuff is great because people really come up to you and ask questions. So,
Yeah, nice. Really nice.
so in-store book sales.
Yes, in store, they can be with you. They can ask the questions. I love it. Tina, what have you done? What do you like?
So for me, collaboration has been a big part of my way forward, and you know, collaborating on holding events, whether they're like a paid offering or free offering, and just yeah, those have been really great for book sales. They've been great for bringing new people into both of our worlds, the collaborators. And then I actually had one of my authors produce an event for me, and that brought 9 new people into my world, and they all got a book. And so I just really feel like collaborating. I don't like to work by myself all the time anyway, so collaboration works really well for me.
Ditto, girl. I love the collaborations all day long. It's kind of why we're here today, so that we can be with each other and dream up some new collaborations. Oh my gosh, somebody produces an event that brings you 9 new people into your world. Yeah, like all day long, right? And any one of those 9 new people could then turn into something else that's amazing, right? So I love that. Anna, what do you like? Oh, you're muted, Anna.
You're right. I lowered my hand instead of hitting unmute. I love creating the virtual events and the in-person events that we do with our authors and giving them the platform to speak. I also am, as you and I spoke the other day, Laura, I'm venturing into bigger platforms where I'm speaking. I'll be speaking at Socrex. I'll be speaking at the Medical Tourism and Wellness Summit for the Middle East for a Forbes event in Dubai at the end of the month. And all of these opportunities are going to obviously bring awareness to me, but more so towards everything that what we're doing. But again, the collaborations and everybody getting together, creating opportunities for them to be interviewed and them to be speaking on interviews. We're doing that as well as what you do with Brave Healer Productions and doing those interviews with our authors and creating those other events with them so they benefit off of the ecosystem. So it's this like infinity of everyone helping each other, as well as they have a place and space. And again, having, like you just said, speaking, getting out there in front of people, building that know, love, and trust, and then helping them also to be able to give, like, what's that next level? Like the first things that we talked about, how do you bring people into your ecosystem from that opportunity to speak? But there's so many ways, myself and then all of our authors, it's really a beautiful way to bring the books to life and really impact the world.
Awesome. Thank you. How many here have a YouTube channel that they put content on for their business? Can you keep your hand up for a minute? I just want to see how many of you, or you can type me in the chat if it's you. Many, many. Okay, cool. So in the spirit of collaboration, let's say you wrote your expert chapter or you have your whole solo book and you have branded yourself on a theme and or a strategy or a tool or whatever this is that you're trying to get out into the world. What if you lined up the next 5 experts in that same field and interviewed them for your YouTube channel? And that collaboration will then be moving out onto your platform and their platform. And that's a collaboration that I would do all day long. You guys both love the topic, so I'm going to be doing it about collaboration. So there are business collaborators where collaboration is their expert field. It's like they took collaboration and went to other levels with it. I'm going to start having them on my YouTube, right? So that I could interview them, pick their brain. I get nuggets, they get interviewed, and my exposure to my audience, etc. So if you have a YouTube channel and it's been all you all the time, I highly recommend you pull in some experts in collaboration, and your YouTube will start getting seen by more people because you're willing to collaborate and bring them on. If you haven't interviewed yet, you're not so sure about that, there's, oh my gosh, that could be a whole workshop. And we can talk about like how you would do that and how to vet people, I think is pretty important in terms of if you're going to start doing interviews. But I love that. And then I also want to say that the way that I began getting better, bigger, more interesting speaking gigs was to go and support people. So if you want to speak at an event, go to it and meet the person who founded the event. Pay the money, show up, and go support the people where you want to speak. Do you know how many people are pitching them to stand on their stage without even going to the thing? Right? So if you want to do it, go support people. Go show up at places where they're speaking, sit in the audience. That means a lot. And I started getting invitations without even asking because I was going out to show up for people. That is really, really important, especially when we're all overwhelmed with all these millions of things we could be doing these days. Lolita, what have you done that you've liked?
So first of all, thank you so much. I'm so happy I'm here because there's so many ideas listening in and then coming up as I'm listening to you. So that's awesome. Talking about podcast, I have my own podcast on YouTube. Now you gave me a great idea, and I'm looking forward to our amazing Wellness Universe Book 5 coming up in January. So I'm already writing down the list of people that will be interviewing the other authors, and I'll
Nice.
be putting out on YouTube. But also for those who are listening, it's a very good idea because when I say, oh, I'm being on so many, like over 40 just this month. I mean, this year, not for this month, And I get people asking, oh my gosh, how do you even get there? So I just go on the website that has the podcast, like for example, podmatch.com. It's like $50 a month, but then you get exposure to all of those. And what really helped me, it's in Lithuania we say, I shot two bunnies with one bullet. I get my authority out because I've been interviewed, and also it's for those who are. It really helped me to speak better and to just have more courage and being, oh yeah, I'll just talk what I care about, and at the same time I say, hey, here's my book, here's my online class, here's my coaching. So for those who are thinking, oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm gonna get in podcast, go to podmatch.com and get yourself a profile, and you can pitch. You get like 6 pitches a day or something, and you can start small. With small pod. It's like, oh well, they have only like 3 listeners. It doesn't matter, but then you participated, you put yourself out there, and then you can put on your social media saying, hey, I participated in this podcast. So it shows authority, and I've been approached by other podcasts and other events saying, hey, I just saw you in this interview, and hence, so that's what I would say.
Yeah, it's a great tip. Also, smaller shows, those people are busting their butt to promote them. Don't be afraid of pitching smaller podcasts, y'all. That might even be a better strategy because they're getting it out all over the place, and you're going to be seen by those audiences. And even if it's small, so, and everyone's got to start somewhere. Okay, I have this random tip for you all, and you don't have to use this for your YouTube channel, so think outside the box that I'm about to share with you, but I loved this tip so much. Recently, I signed up for a YouTube optimization course, and I'm learning from this guy. His name is Prince EA. Does anyone know who I'm talking about? Yeah, okay, a couple of you. He's awesome. He's a spoken word poet, influencer, awesome, inspirational guy. And he's doing this YouTube class. And in this pre-class homework boot camp thing that we did, he gave us a prompt for ChatGPT that I had so much resistance to any AI until he gave me this prompt, and I tried it out, and it was like a small miracle. So the prompt is, I'll repeat it a couple times. And you're typing this into ChatGPT. The prompt is, give me 5 shocking questions about, put your topic in, for my viral YouTube video that capture attention and keep it throughout. I'll repeat it. Okay, so this is the prompt you're giving ChatGPT. Now, this doesn't have to be for your viral YouTube video. So if you guys don't have a YouTube channel, what if you just needed some hook titles for your workshop or whatever you're creating, right? Give me 5, and make up the number. I'm just using 5 because I do like 5 author interviews at a time. So I asked for 5. So give me 5 shocking, this could be 3 different words, statements, questions, or statistics. Pick one. For my viral, about topic, your topic, for my viral YouTube video that captures attention, and keeps it throughout. So, anyone need it one more time? You need it one more time? You good? You need it one more time? Okay, give me 5 shocking questions about topic for my viral YouTube video that captures attention and keeps it throughout, right? And so, of course, you could interchange whatever you're working on. It could be a blog title, could be a social post title, could be a workshop thing, oh my, have I had some fun with these. So I completely changed my YouTube thumbnail titles and my YouTube titles, which according to him are the 2 most important things for your YouTube channel: your thumbnail and your title. Okay, heads up, that could be a whole nother workshop too. So, bear with me on these things, but I figured I'd give you the one little tip. Yeah, the thumbnails are a big deal. One more time, Veronica, you need it one more time. Okay, last time, you guys. Oh, thank you for typing that in. Give me 5 shocking questions about topic for my viral YouTube video that capture attention and keep it throughout. Okay. Have fun with that. Tell me how it goes. All right. So, one other little freebie here. Most of you who've been in my community already have this, but if you don't and you want it, I created the book launch playbook for my authors to give them a step-by-step how to get that book to Amazon bestseller. So there is one of my best opted in opt-ins. Something that I created for my community that I know that they wanted, right? So when you guys are creating your email opt-ins, if you're selling your book too, think about that takeaway oriented call to action, the results oriented call to action of the thing they want, not what they need, which you will give them in the magic of the thing. It's what they want. You have to make your calls to action about that. And then you will get so many more clicks. You will not believe it. Okay, back up to my list. So speaking, right? We talked about selling the books, making the call to action in our thank you notes and our different coupons and things we're putting in the book. We talked about doing a workshop or course and wrapping the book in the price of the book into it. We've been talking about speaking, all the ways people are getting to know, love, and trust us as an author about this topic. And then who knows what they sign up for after they hear you speak. You know, have you crafted a signature talk yet? Do you have a few of them ready, depending on the audience you're in front of, right? Anna's about to go talk to, what is it, the Forbes group? And like her talk to that audience is going to be a little different than her talk to her healer people, right? So like, do you have a few signature talks where depending on the audience, you're going to choose, and then please the call to action. Do not leave a speaking gig without a call to action. Now, if you've been asked to speak, you have to know the rules. Am I allowed to sell from the stage? If you are not, then you can give them a freebie, or you can say, hey, meet me in the back of the room after my talk. I'd love to talk to you. Whatever that call to action is, right? But online and podcasts, you just have to know the rules. So ask. And typically an awesome podcast host will say, hey, Laura, how can people get a hold of you? Do you have a free gift for everyone today? Right? Sometimes you'll know these things ahead of time. It's great to know them ahead of time, and sometimes you won't. So one of the most incredible ways to market a book is to write your next book. Because your next thing will sell your other things. So be strategic about the next things you create. Could be a book, could be a blog, could be a workbook, could be your workshop. But to do your next thing strategically, including the other books you've written, will sell those other books. So that's one of the best marketing strategies you can have as an author. It's like, well, what's the next thing, right? What's level 2 of my topic? If somebody's mastering this at level 1 with book number 1, what about the next level? What is the second book or third or fourth, right? The last one is probably the most powerful thing that I wanted to talk about today. And we mentioned it already. It's networking, it's building relationships. So if you don't like the term networking because it kind of turns you off because of what you've experienced in the past, I would highly suggest you reframe networking to how can you help somebody else build their business? How can you be of help? Which is what you all do all day anyway. You're all super great at networking. You just thought networking meant to sell your shit. But it doesn't mean that. It means how can you build a relationship with someone and create a collaborative referral partner out of them, right? I am going to be refocusing in 2025, and I am going to analyze my top 5 referral partners, and I am going to pour into them instead of wanting to talk to the whole world next year. So I'm going to analyze who has been in my world that has changed my business world. And I'm going to go back to those 5 people and say, hey, what can I do for you? What kind of magic do you want to come up with this year? How can I help you? Do you have something going on that I could share for you? Would you share for me? You also have to ask, right? It's reciprocal. It's not you giving all the time. It's how you can build a relationship with someone and ask what they need first in hopes that it's a reciprocal kind of relationship. And if it's not, they're out. Okay. Because this isn't about burning yourself out and giving everything one-sided in a one-sided way. So I want to do a little exercise. We'll do 5 minutes and we're going to do a breakout. And if you can't break out, well, some of you guys aren't on camera today. And this is going to be the most powerful part of this workshop today. So I hope you can either like talk audio, right, in your partners, but I'm going to break you out and I'm going to give you a task, a little challenge. You have 5 minutes total, which means you have 2.5 per person. And it's going to go something like this. Anna, you want to play with me for a minute?
Let's go.
Awesome. Anna, tell me what you do in the world.
I bring people together to bridge the gap between those who seek healing and the resources who are the healing for them.
Cool. And I see you are the founder of the Wellness Universe, which is what briefly?
Well, we are a thriving community of human beings that are making the world a better place. And that's kind of really who we are. But for somebody else who's looking at who we are online, we're a directory of practitioners, we're content, we're events, we're classes.
Super. Who do you want to be introduced to this week? How can I help you?
Oh, I would love to be introduced to someone who's coordinating an event focused on wellness and well-being, where they're looking to bring in practitioners and experiences for their event.
Say that again. Looking to bring practitioners in to
their event, who can give an experience that is wellness related and well-being related.
Yeah, fantastic. So I have somebody for you, 2 gals actually. I can introduce you to at least one of them. And there's probably going to be some pretty heavy collaboration opportunities between their community and your community. That's real, you guys. I'm actually really saying to Anna, I have someone for her today. So we did that very fast, is what I'll say. And that's just because Anna knows how to talk about herself in a specific enough way that it helped me think of somebody immediately. That's the goal. But if after the 2.5 minutes, the person hasn't thought of someone, right? So please do not forget to ask the question, who do you want to be introduced to today, this week, this month? That is part of the task. Ask the question, but you're going to need to know enough about them to figure out if you know somebody. And I'll give you 2 ways to think about this exercise. It could definitely be an ideal client. Yeah, of course, I would love to meet some holistic health and wellness practitioners who would love to be collaborative authors, right? I'd love to meet that person. However, it could be a non-competitive business professional that serves my same exact ideal client audience. Man, would I love to be introduced to people like that. A business coach who serves health and wellness practitioners. That business coach is probably one of the best non-competitive professionals who serves health and wellness entrepreneurs, and in a way that those people want to be seen and heard in bigger ways, and maybe they're ready to publish their book. So that business coach would be a very cool introduction for me, right? So I just gave you those 2 different ways to think about how you're giving and asking for introductions. They can both be extremely powerful. So your partner, needs to ask some good questions, and they need to take responsibility for getting clear about if they have anyone to introduce you to today. If they don't, no worries, like no pressure. We're all here to kind of practice and help each other. Oh, sorry, Anna, I can't think of anyone right this second. We only have 5 minutes. It's stressing me out. Can I have your email? And I'm going to think about it. And I will, well, let's have another conversation this week or next week. Let's get to know each other a little better. That's how that should go, because you may not be able to do it in 5 minutes. You might, right? But it's the second conversation, sometimes the third, fourth, fifth, where this light bulb will go off and you'll be like, oh my gosh, I think you are probably going to be one of my top business referral partners next year. I really want to take this to the next level and get to know you better. That will happen. Maybe today. Okay. Okay. So I saw a couple people drop off, I know, because they're probably not wanting to do the networking, but we're not going to do this for the whole rest of the time. I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes, and then we're going to regroup and really talk about how to take these relationships to the next level. So give me a second. I got to get my little breakouts ready here. Okay. All right, I'm going to cross my fingers. We'll see if these breakouts work. Hey, Ricky, don't push the button. Okay. All right, stay where you are. Don't push the breakout room. You're going to be with me right here in the main room, and we're going to still record what we're doing. Okay. All right, you guys, 5 minutes. Have fun. Ricky, you're staying with me. All right. So that's what I was afraid of, if some people are not going to have a person. Sandy, you doing okay? You know how to?
I am. My only problem is I had to wait till the last minute to know if I could do this, but I have to go pick up somebody, and I have to actually leave. I was hoping I could say, because I really want to do.
No worries. I'll bring your partner back into the main room. No worries.
Thank you so much.
Yep. Sandra, I know you're in another class, so I'm going to bring your partner back into the main room with us. And Veronica, who are you supposed to be with here? Karen. All right. We'll bring, oopsie. We'll bring, hey, Joellen, hang tight for just a second. We'll bring Karen back into the main session. Okay, I think I got everyone taken care of so that everyone either had a partner or or whatever. So you guys, for those of you who are hanging out here in this main room with me, we're going to be I'm going to model this with Ricky a little bit, and then we'll go around to Timothy, Joellen. You guys can play with us a little bit too. Your partners were either off camera or whatever, so I just brought you guys back into the main room. Looks like everyone else is okay. So Ricky, I know a little bit about you. Who do you want to be introduced to this week?
Podcasts. People who have
podcasts
on well-being and also on cooking. Anything to do with food.
Well-being and cooking. So do you know Hannah McKittrick?
I've heard the name.
Okay. I think she might be an interesting intro for you. I don't think she's got a podcast, but I've been on so many podcasts lately that I'm going to just go look in my list and see. None of them are like specifically food related,
Right.
but a lot of them are mind, body, soul, health. Well,
Great.
you know, your food topic will be perfect for that. But Hannah might also be just a cool collaborator.
Great.
So if you're okay with that, I will send you an intro to Hannah.
That would be great. Thank you.
So you guys, you know, I've done this for a minute or two, so I know how to get to the intro, which if you can do it, you'll become a super connector and your business will grow as a result of that. So I've always got my listening cap on. I'm always asking the question right away, who is it that you want to be introduced to? I know a couple of people. So if you can help me think of someone. Joellen, you want to play for a minute?
Okay, there I am.
Cool. So tell me what you do.
Well, I'm an advocate in the health and wealth industry. I'm helping women around the world develop the lifestyle that they want while they're helping others.
Awesome. Are you in one of our collaborations?
I am not. I
so.
just heard
Okay.
about this through Debbie.
Awesome. Thank you for joining. Who are you looking to be introduced to right now?
I'd love to be introduced to some energetic women who want to either try something new in the health and wealth industry. Maybe they need to feel better, look better, but I'm really looking for women to partner with that want to create a lifestyle that they want.
What's the company? What am I selling in this?
It's health and wealth and products with the company called Trinot.
Can you spell that?
It's TRANONT. The company is 11 years old, and they really are number one in creating products that are winning awards.
Awesome. One in particular stand out to you? One kind of product?
Yes, the big topic right now is semi-glutides. And
so
we
a
have
supplement?
Yes, it's
Okay.
so we have an all-natural alternative to taking a shot.
Oh, awesome. If you are not hooked up in the On Purpose Women Network yet, I highly recommend that you meet Jenny Robertson, because you could go in as a speaker and educate people a little bit about a product or two, or just, let them get to know you. Would you be interested in meeting her?
Yes, that sounds fabulous.
Okay. She's online with several meetings a month. So there's lots of opportunities to just go on a Zoom and meet that group of women. So I will ask you to give me your email real quick, because I don't think I have it.
Okay, it's Joellen
Yep.
W.Martin
Uh-huh.
at Gmail.
Thank you. Awesome.
Awesome. Thank you.
So you guys are you're hearing me hone in pretty fast. Like if I had more than a couple of minutes with somebody, then I may do a little bit more with like, yeah, tell me more about your company. Like, where are you? Like, but I'm doing kind of a speed dating version right now, which is a little faster than usual. Ricky, did you have a comment?
I just wanted to ask Joellen, does that have to do with diabetes? The semi-glutides?
Yes, the pharmaceutical portion of that definitely does. It was created for diabetes. And so we have an all natural version for the people that want to try not taking shots.
Okay. And it's Joellen W.Martin at
Gmail.
Thank you. I just may give you a call.
Okay. It's
Or an email.
working. It's working. It's working.
Great.
All right, guys, we're pulling people back in. There's still like 20 seconds left on the clock for the timer for the rooms. So we were just doing a little bit in the main session here, and giving, there are going to be some people watching the replay, and I'll just tell you that when you can get clear on the person's intro that they really would love, and you can do it quickly and think of somebody and make that email introduction or LinkedIn, however you want to make the introduction, is kind of like, I usually ask people, is email okay? And they say, sure, email's fine. Some people would prefer a LinkedIn Messenger intro. So, so ask, because it's nice to get the intros how you want them. But the faster I can do it and the more that I get myself into action with connecting people, the better. And developing relationships with people, this kind of networking where I'm really looking to see how I can help somebody with an intro or more, has brought my business to empire level. So it's going to be a thing where you are going to invest some time, effort, and energy in these conversations and getting to know each other. But I think, and I wrote an entire book on this subject, you guys, Networking for Healers is on Amazon. If you really want to take this to the next level, go grab that book and then schedule a power hour with me. I'm looking to see if I was smart and got my link for you guys. Yes, I did. So if you want to have a power hour session, that's a 5-person private free networking event. There's the link to schedule one. Go for it. And you will experience this question asking in kind of a laser beamed way to see if I can get to an intro. And we do it for all 5 people in the room. And then we do have a little email follow up. And it's really about like, how can I help you? Maybe you have something that you need shared this week. You're working on an offering and you need a little social share, or maybe a couple of you find partners and you're willing to do some email shares to each other's email lists. When you find the right partners for that, you'll have book sales that you didn't expect. You'll have sales in your offerings you didn't expect. And that's where things start to get interesting and exciting. So out of the breakout rooms, does anybody want to shout out their partner and just say hey and what they're looking for? Yeah, Debbie.
Well, I had the most amazing partner. I'm sure we all did. And so Jill is someone that is a consultant's consultant. And at first I was like, what is that? Like, perked my interest right away. But then I was like, okay, for who? And when she talked to me about her strategic big vision thinking, and that she's a new author and that she has a background in marketing, I knew exactly who to reach out. And so it is somebody that's creating a movement, somebody that really needs to see the bigger picture of their vision of where they can go and how can they market that, and then actually, and I hope that I'm right, Jill, in saying this, but it really felt to me that it was more than just a consultant's consultant. You're actually after those people that are doing big things in the world, and they need some help in how to strategize and how to actually do that. And so you've seen all of that, and your background is like, woof, so good.
Thank you for that shout out. That's awesome. And isn't it fun when somebody else shouts you out? And this is what I was saying before. It's like, if we can shout each other out and help each other, wouldn't it be a dream to have other people selling your stuff all day long? Right. I know, like, it's bliss. And when it's, of course, authentic, organic, genuine, the feels are behind it. But how is it going to be like that? You got to get to know each other. You might even offer each other a service that you provide so that you can really get it to the next level. Provide a testimonial, sell that person's offerings with that passion factor. So I've gotten to know people, and listen, you can't do it for everybody. So it has to be strategic partnerships that you're building where you really genuinely want to offer each other those kinds of things and take it to the next level. And when you do, you can make magic doing that. You can't do it for everyone though. You only have so much time in the day. So vet that heavily. But when you do, it could be magic. Colleen, you have a shout out?
Oh, I got a shout out. For everybody being here, for being brave. I know that can be nerve wracking every time Laura says, let's do something like this. I'm like, oh shit, I hope she'd be proud of me. But anyway, my personal shout out, I always got a little extra love for everybody. My personal shout out is to Tiffany Thomas, who I have had the privilege of getting to know a little bit better than I would have on this first round, because we were at your writer's retreat together, where I saw someone who was a little shaky about like telling everyone what she was about. And I know she's refining it and honing it. And I think she's gotten quite masterful at it. And she is all about helping others from the effects of addiction and grief, and wanting to help them return back to their wholeness and their core. And through the conversation, what I learned is she likes to get to people that have not done that before. So like that first timer that's experiencing therapy or the support that she has. And I love that, because I think it's really brave that you would venture into that space with like a first timer, right? I think that's really brave. So she was asking for a connection. So yay, you, Tiffany. She was asking for a connection to people who have run retreats. Funny. I know couple of people that have done that, one being myself. So if you've run a retreat and if you have love to show Tiffany, or you have guidance, please reach out to her. I'm going to connect her with some people, but yeah, she's pretty cool and pretty badass. So make sure you get to know her. And if you know someone that can help her with retreats, reach out.
Thank you.
Don't be shy.
Tiffany, have you talked to Atlantis yet about that?
No, not yet. I'll add her to my list.
She just did a really beautiful one in Mount Shasta, and had a great experience. So she would, I'm sure, love to talk to you about retreats. There's a lot of people, you know. So I guess also sometimes you have to be careful what you ask for. You know, do you want 10 introductions to people who are doing retreats? So be as specific as you can when you're teaching people what you want and how to talk about you and how to give that introduction. It's really great as you get better and better at this. Perfect introductions will end up in your inbox and your world will change in a day. That's how exciting and fun this gets. It takes practice too. Charlene, you want to shout someone out?
Yeah, sure. I had a great chat with Pamela Pine about the work she's doing with child abuse. And Pamela's looking for some strong connections with organizations that are looking for people who are willing to pay for speakers about the topic of child abuse. And she's looking for speaker fees plus transport. I told her that I'm in Europe. And I have limited exposure to that topic, but I do have a connection to an organization. But if anybody in the US has one, please get in touch with Pamela, because she is looking for that speaker opportunity where somebody's willing to pay for her to share the expertise that she has.
Thank you. I'll put my my email in the chat.
Yeah, and anyone who hasn't exchanged emails with each other, and or if you just want to put it in the chat for everybody, then we can all make friends later after this. That's fine too. So whoever wants to put their contact information into the chat, go for it. Go for it now. I'll give you a minute to do that. And I want to just kind of review a couple of these principles. Let's see. So anybody who's been in an expert collaboration of ours, you have a built-in 25-person, in most cases, networking circle. You're going to be busy for a while. If you haven't met every person in your own book project yet, start there. Because the collaborative opportunities in just that small community of the book itself, you never know what could brew from there. So I'm just going to remind you, because some of us we get to the end of one of these book projects and we're like, phew, that was a lot. And like, I haven't even met everyone yet. Yeah, maybe you haven't even read your own whole book yet. Like, hint, hint, read a chapter. One this week, this month, whatever you can fit into your schedule, and go shout that out on your Facebook or your LinkedIn. Oh my gosh, I read Tiffany's chapter about this and it was so amazing. This is the aha I got out of it. You guys, you really ought to come buy the book. You could sell your own books by shouting them out, right? Like, and you have 25 opportunities to do that in your own book project. And you could be selling your own paperbacks that way. You have content forever and you have networking opportunities forever, right? So I highly, highly recommend you start to do your shout outs for your co-authors and get to know them. And how are you doing with building those perfect intro and referral partners? You know, maybe you haven't even really thought about that, or you just been kind of out there just meeting everybody, not really sure what the heck you're doing. But how about starting to analyze that? Which people you get off the Zoom or the phone call and you're jazzed, man, you're filled up. You have more joy at the end of that conversation than when you started. Those are the people I'm going back to. I don't know about you all. So if you have networking conversations that are the opposite, highly recommend you just say next. Because if you keep pouring in a situation that drains you, you know what's going to happen, right? So you get to vet, you get to decide, you get to curate your networking calendar. Make marks on your spreadsheet, make notes, track. What you track grows, right? Money and networking partners, right? So if you're paying attention and you're making some notes about the people who are lifting you up like that, go back. Do it again, ask for another conversation, see what sort of magic you can create together. Can you talk about yourself in a clear enough way that that person thinks of someone to introduce you to? If that's not quite happening for you, practice. Come to a Brave Healer Power Hour. I'll help you practice. I'll get the questions going. I'm going to get to it, right? And I'm going to help you talk about yourself in that way. Are you making awesome, perfect introductions for other people? How many a week? How many introductions are you making for other people? That is going to be a marker of your business growth. Watch what happens when you start to keep track of this. Now I made 5, 10, 20 introductions this week, right? Set a goal for yourself. If you haven't been making any, try for 1 to 3. Make your own rules about this, right? Your own numbers. Are you a great question asker? Can you get clear on what that person's perfect intro is? How good are you at taking responsibility for asking the good questions? Are you getting to it, right? It takes practice, you guys. Are you asking for introductions for non-competitive professionals who serve the same audience? I don't think a lot of people are doing this, but this is magic making in your business world. Watch what happens when you start to get on this one. And then one of the favorite ways I have, you know, to sell your books, to do things after you publish would be to partner with someone who's willing to bring you and put you in front of their audience. So Anna had me in to talk about, I think we did the networking one for your business intensive thing. And she brought me in on a topic that I love and I could talk about all day long. And there's a lot of value there, right? So she's getting a win because her audience really needs to understand the networking game. I'm getting a win because I could say, hey guys, go buy my book, Networking for Healers, right after that awesome presentation. I have had a few book sales. Cool. Like, so how can you guys collaborate together to serve each other's audiences and make those wins all day long, right? Do you have a stage you can offer to other people, like a podcast, like a Instagram live, like it just, there's so many options for this. How can you help somebody else by giving them some opportunities for exposure? Colleen, did you have your hand up? I saw it a minute ago.
I did, and I think you maybe got to it. It was just, I think if you can build yourself to be known as a connector in general, right? Like I'm talking even like sharing your doctor, sharing the best granola, share, like it sounds silly, but like when people in my area, when they're looking for something, they're like, oh, call Colleen, she'll know. So you start to become known as that person that's willing to give abundantly, expecting nothing back. It got me jazzed up when you said that, because I was like, wow, it goes so beyond. And I actually think it's more important to talk beyond what you're trying to sell or give or drive for yourself. And and when you get there and you start to be a part of that and people are looking to you for that, it's exciting, right? Because you're helping other people, and it has come back to me tenfold. So I just was, yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah. And if you want to be connected or shout it out, call me. I will shout you out all day long. Ask Charlene. The authors in my Sacred Spaces 3 book. I can't do enough to shout them out or Laura out. And if you don't have anybody shouting you out and you don't know how to get shouted out, call me. I will shout you out.
Awesome.
That's all I got.
And that's a genuine offer from Miss Colleen Avis, who is the lead author of the Sacred Spaces series. We have Anna Pereira, who is the lead author of the Wellness Universe Guide to Complete Self-Care series. We have Jill Austin here, who is a lead author of Transformative Leadership. Tina Green was with us a few minutes ago. She is the lead author of the Life-Changing Power of Self-Love. It's amazing. I can remember all these titles, right? Pamela Pine is the lead author of Stop the Silence. I'm going to look around, make sure I'm not forgetting anyone. You can make sure that I don't forget you. Timothy Stutz has a project coming up that is open for co-authors. Conscious Parent, Courageous Family. Love that title. Can't wait to publish that book. All right, you guys. What's that?
What's amazing, Laura, is I was looking for ways to get the collaborating authors out into the world more and new, unique ways. And today I got offered a chance to do 1-hour TV show productions on a monthly basis next year for a very large platform. So every collaborative author in there can have a stage that they wouldn't normally get on.
Nice. Fantastic benefit. Our lead authors are bringing extra to these projects. Okay, you guys, here's some more. If you needed more random, not in any particular order, book promotion ideas. Donate a portion of your paperback sales if you are in one of the expert collaborations, or maybe your book in general, and donate a portion to a charity or nonprofit partner. Who even has any of those? If you do not have a nonprofit partner or a charity partner that you love and want to support, this can be one of the biggest impact networking kinds of conversations you can have. Because if you're donating a little bit of your sales, even for like a promotional period, maybe you two get together for a special thing. And for 3 days, anybody who buys the book gets X, right? Make it up, whatever you want to do. Maybe every year on your book anniversary, you do some special thing. So many billions of ideas here, right? So who could be a nonprofit charity partner? You can put that on your landing page. You can do social stuff with that. You're giving back in a much bigger way with your books when you partner like that. So special promotion for a special occasion. I kind of already talked about the book birthday, but that would be one idea. Gift a gift with your book, right? So when is your book's 1-year anniversary? What can you cook up with that? Does your book's theme relate to a national day for, let's say, we had a book called Strong Mothers. So Mother's Day, right? Right. So what does your book connect to that you can create a special promotion around? And then even partnering with a nonprofit partner on that one could be really, really cool. Media will accept pitches if it relates to one of these dates coming up. You got to get this ahead of time, though. Just beware. Like they're setting up their content for the next 6, 9, 12 months. So you got to look ahead when you're going to pitch the media for Mother's Day, right? I would be doing that like beginning of the year for Mother's Day, that far ahead. If you've got a book that relates to a theme of a special holiday or day, then think ahead and you can use your press release for that type of thing. Could be really cool. Let's see. The whole idea of a non-competitive professional partner who serves your same ideal client. What if you could hook up with an influencer and you give 3 books, 5 books, 10 books, you decide. They give them away to their much bigger audience. You're giving them a benefit to give to their audience, and you get the social shout out for that. What kind of thing can you cook up with someone who has a bigger audience than you, where you're giving them a fun thing to do for their audience, but you're getting a big ass shout out, bigger than usual, right? Instagram is cool for that. Look for people with followers of like 30 to 50K or more and DM and work up a deal. Say, hey, I've got this new book. I think it fits perfectly with your audience. I'd love to ship you 3 or 5 or whatever to give away to your audience. Could we do a little shout out? See what happens with that, right? And then let's see, your Amazon reviews. Each of you has the book page on Amazon that you can go to today. If you've written for one of our collaborations or you have a solo book, you should have this as well. And you've got reviews that you haven't done anything with. I know it. Go put the reviews on a beautiful social graphic and you will have content forever. So like I've got 40 reviews on how to be brave. I can put those on a graphic, and every Monday forever, I can have this thing show up on my social content calendar. What are you guys doing with your book reviews? Right? And are you asking for them, right? So you have to be continuing to ask for them, but whatever ones are up there, make use of them. And I already talked about shouting out a fellow author's chapter and the takeaway. You can combine these things. You can write the testimonial for your co-author friends too, and do a shout out on a graphic. This idea is a little bit time, energy, effort, money, but have you done or thought about doing a book talk, a party, a signing, or other fun event locally, maybe with a small bookstore in your area? Win-win all day long. I actually wrote a whole blog on events. There it is in the chat for you guys. If you want ideas for book events, I wrote an entire blog on it, and I hope that gives you a whole bunch of fun ideas about how to partner with those bookstore owners or small businesses, and then what kind of agenda to put together for the event, and just all kinds of things. There's so many people in this Zoom room right now who have done successful events like that too, you guys. So hook up with each other and talk about it. Let's see, 2 more quick things, and then I saw your hand, Colleen, again. Brave story time is something I offer. If you want to be solo interviewed about your book, your topic, and your business, this has a price tag, but I will interview you and shout that out on my YouTube channel, and it'll be all about you. So that is in the chat. I love doing those. And of course, if you guys aren't in the bigger free group on Facebook, Brave Badass Healers, most of you are here. The ones who aren't in my author community yet, you're in this group, but I'll just put it there for the heck of it to make sure you guys have it. Colleen, what did you have?
Well, now I have 2 things. Number 1, Laura DeFranco gives her heart and soul and a huge amount of value to everything she does. Go spend $197 and get an interview with her.
Thank you, Colleen.
Number 2, I'm serious. Number 2, on the first book that we did, Sacred Spaces, I follow Valerie Bertinelli. She happens to follow me back. Don't ask me how it happened. It just happened. I started leaving her DMs. She started leaving me DMs. Yes, voice messages back and forth. Hey, Valerie, it's me. Oh, hey, Colleen, I'm in New York. La, 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 la. I let her know that we were writing this book. She shouted it out. 50,000 likes later on my Instagram. I can see directly the books that were sold as a result. These people are looking for connections. Listen, I don't know if J-Lo is going to respond. Okay, maybe that's too big of a deal, but leave them a voice message. If someone's connecting with you, she was going through a terrible divorce, sacred space. I'm just saying, like, the sky is the limit. So get yourself entered by Laura, post it on Instagram, share it and tag somebody you love, and then ask them to repost it. It's big. I'm telling you, don't be afraid to ask. That's all I got. I'm out.
I love it. I love that you ask, because, you know, you can only get a yes if you ask, and we get surprised sometimes by those things. I love it. All right, you guys. So we're gonna wrap up here in a minute or two, and I know that was a lot, because it always is if you come to one of my things. Any questions, any extra comments, anything you're thinking about, anything you want to know more about? Anyone want to unmute and ask? Was this good? Did you get some nuggets today? Lolita, what you got?
So there was something that I wrote in the comments when we just started, but there was something I was listening to Brendan Burchard, long time, whatever program, and it says you can, like, if you finally event, let's say, you know, those events that have goodie baggage at the door, you know, for it could be anything, rewards, or it doesn't matter. So it's like you can have your book and tell the event organizer, hey, I'll give you my book to put in the goodie bag. And they could say, oh yeah, okay, is that going to cost us? No, nothing's going to cost you. So you give them the books, but then you find a company who will sponsor you, meaning they pay you for that book and all that business. And then you can put on the book saying, hey, this book is being provided to you by, and the company name that actually sponsored you. And you can make like money like that. I almost did it.
I love that idea. So that's like a double whammy. Did you guys catch that? So somebody is going to sponsor this, so they're going to pay for the 25 books going in the goodie bags, but you're going to shout them out, maybe even like create a little sticker that goes on those books. This is provided by so and so, this website, whatever. That's a cool collaborative idea, Lolita. I love it. Right? And you just got to ask. Just got to ask. And people are always looking for creative ways to give benefits to their communities. Guest expert workshops are so cool. Guys, go do those on your topics. Get with people who will have you in for their audience and do it for each other. It can be so cool. Do the email swaps for each other, right? Be specific about what you'll do. You give your person the blurb, so all they have to do is copy and paste, make it easy for them. And you decide on the date that those newsletters are going out, and you each come through, honestly, is just what I'm going to say about that, right? You don't not do it. You stay in integrity with what you said you were going to do. You come up with a date together, you come up with the copy, and then you each do it for each other, and then analyze, see how it goes, see what happens, right? It may be good, it may not be good, but that's okay. Got to try. What else? Any other last questions, comments? I'm so grateful to all of you for coming today and for getting me sort of back on track today. It's fun to shift our energy in this purposeful way, and we can do that with one deep breath, right? So as you go to finish your day today, back into whatever you're going to go back into today, just remember that you've got that choice. Take the deep breaths, breathe in the gratitude of being with all these amazing people today. And I'll try to get the replay out to you guys and back into the authors group. So that's coming here shortly. Thank you for watching the replay if you have. Does anyone need to still save the chat before you guys go? Did everybody get their stuff in there? So on my Zoom nowadays, it moved to the top of the chat, those 3 buttons. It used to be on the bottom. So it depends on if you have like an old Zoom version of Zoom or the newer version of Zoom. Anyone need a second or need to know how to find that? Okay, Jill. Any other questions while we're waiting for that? Got it. Okay. Top of the chat, 3 dots, click there. You can click save chat. Okay, last thing I want to tell you guys about before we ditch out of here. So some of you know that my son is starting a business called Systems Success Pro. We are going to help you get your systems for your business in order so that you have a business where you can actually grow it, delegate to an assistant or any other team that you either want to hire or do hire in the future. If you want to grow your business and you want to get it to a place that's next level, you're even thinking ahead, like to the future, having a business that's inheritable, that is a legacy that lives beyond you, and you're not getting your systems ducks in a row, it will be not doable. It will be impossible. As my company grew and I started to write SOPs, standard operating procedures, so that like when we had virtual assistants come in to help us with some of the tasks, unless those systems were documented in a way that was organized, I was going crazy, slightly crazy. So I got with my son and I said, hey, let's figure this out. And he has created a program that will be an indexed library of your SOPs for your company, so that all you have to do is say, hey, assistant, here you go. And you guys can find everything in one place. And we're doing an information session. And that's all I really wanted to tell you guys about today, is just come hear about it. We're going to take you through a workshop that will get you started, which will help you no matter what you do moving forward, with your business systems and business tasks. And we've got 2 information sessions coming up about it, November 14th and December 2nd. And here's the little Facebook event. If you haven't seen this already, click there. And you can go into the event. That is the event link, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. That's on his business page. Yeah. And if you want to come, we're going to do a workshop for your business tasks. We are going to get you started. And then we're going to tell you all about this System Success Pro that we're putting together. We're going to have fun as usual. It'll be me and him kind of co-leading the info sessions. What else? There's always fun things going on in Brave Healer Land. So if you guys want to come do a Brave Healer Power Hour networking, I can't wait to see you and go that step further with the networking with you. And if you need me, come find me. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. Yay. Thanks, Marissa. Can't wait to see you for that. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.